All right, we are now live. And this is, I was just telling Fernanda and Nathalia that this is my favorite part because you get to see everybody's name coming in on the side when they're logging in, and all the people that we haven't seen in forever. But through these webinars, I've gotten to see your name all the time, and I'm seeing people that have been here week after week after week. So as always, please chat in and tell us where you're logging in from, so we can maintain that conversation. For those of you that are new, that are logging in for the first time, my name is Sherry Bailey. I work with Connect Travel, and we have been doing these Staying Connected webinars for over a year now. And luckily, the loyalty of clients like CVC and Fernanda and Nathalia that have given their time to us to kind of share with us what's going on in their world right now, and everyone that has logged in week after week. We have said that we're going to do these until the industry doesn't need them anymore. And I think we might always need them. Maybe not every week, but I think we always need to stay in touch with each other. So this is kind of cool. And I already know that we have people that are going to type in Portuguese. So you guys are going to have to read that on your own, because there's no way that I'm going to be able to do that. So everyone, welcome that is logging in and joining us. This is going to be a great conversation. We were just talking about my days at Visit Florida, and how important the Brazilian market is to so many of us. And I know there's so many questions on what's going on in the market and what we can do to stay engaged in it. And to stay engaged with you guys. So I think we should get started, because I know there's going to be a ton of questions. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself and your company, because you're going to do that better than I could. And I've been trying to keep up with all of your acquisitions and the new names for some of your companies, and I am not going to do it justice. So I'm gonna start with you, Fernanda. Tell us about your role and what's going on in your world.
Okay, so hi everyone. First of all, excuse me, I'm sorry for my voice. I was a little bit sick 2 days ago, so I'm still a little bit voiceless, but I'm doing fine. I have my tea here with me just in case. So I already saw some name. I'm sorry, I'm trying to look at the screen and to the names and to the chat, but I already saw some names that I know. But for the ones who don't, my name is Fernanda Paranhos, and I am the product manager responsible for North America at CVC Corp. So I think I'll let Nathalia explain a little bit more about her first, and then we can explain about CVC Corp, the group, for those who are not familiar, and then we can explain exactly what we do inside the company. But just a spoiler, sorry, Nath, I speak a lot, so if I do say a lot of things, please interrupt me. So I'm responsible for the negotiation for products in North America. So everything besides airlines, so hotels, tickets, transfers, whatever, in USA and Canada. And of course, here the focus is US. So Nachi,
okay. You? Hi everyone, it's a pleasure to be here this afternoon with you. I hope everyone is fine and healthy. So my name is Nathalia, but you can call me Nachi. It's more usual. It's a little bit awkward when people call me Nathalia.
Talking to you. Yeah.
So I started CVC with Fernanda, actually.
Like, the same day, right?
What?
We started the same day.
Exactly, the same day all together.
How many years ago was that?
9 years ago.
Oh my goodness. So you've seen so many changes, so many acquisitions with CVC.
Yeah, we saw all these changes, all these movies that we did along the way. And it was very important for me, for Fernanda as well, because we could get the experience of all these challenging situations that we faced in the past 9 years. So I'm development and product manager. So basically, Fernanda and all the other managers deals with all the negotiations. And what I do is to get all this information, to create a strategy for each brand that we have. So we work together. So we're all the time talking and preparing all the development of the strategy. And then I go with all the brands and try to implement what we design in terms of product, destinations, and negotiations. Basically.
And you do that B2B and B2C?
Sorry?
You do that for the B2B side and the B2C side.
Yes, and the online as well.
So you're not busy at all.
No.
Yeah.
Don't have anything to do. No, she's always free. So easy to find a time, a spot in her agenda. So easy. Because it's like always, Nathalia, I need to talk to you. What time do you have at 9 p.m.? Because it's like impossible.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for finding time today for us. So I'm really excited about hearing what the strategy is. So tell me a little bit about CVC. You guys are the largest tour operator and agency in Brazil. But what has been going on with you guys recently? So you acquired a lot, and I know what I've read. You've acquired a lot of companies, and I think you consolidated them into one name or some of them. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so as Nathalia said, we're here for 9 years, so we've been through all the changes. So we started as CVC only, so we were only one company. And a few years ago, we started with some acquisitions. And we just bought, I think until last year, we had 9 different brands in Brazil and Argentina. So we had like B2B brands, B2C brands, we had OTA, so we kind of have a little bit of everything, consolidators. And then what happened last year, what we decided to do is kind of create 3 groups. So we have the B2B, B2C, and online, as you said, the OTAs. So in those groups, we have for B2C, we have CVC, that is the most famous. And we also have Experimento. There is a brand focused on students. So people who want to study or do any kind of course abroad. For the B2B is where we had a lot of different brands. So we are kind of unifying them. So it's in a process. We announced that in last year. So it's in a process. So that's why right now we just call B2B, so it's easier. But but we had Trendy, Visual, Esfera, RA. I think I'm missing one. I always forget all the names.
There were like 5 or 6 of them, right?
Yeah,
that you're
exactly.
Down.
So now we are consolidating under Hex Tour, advanced name. But we just call B2B because it's easier. Mm-hmm. And we do have the online brands. Right now we have CVC.com, that is our website for CVC. Submarino Viagens, that is an OTA. And we had Almundo, there was a company from Argentina that we are using here in Brazil as well. And Argentina side that we kind of handle separated for now. And we have a few brands there also. And we just announced that we acquired, because one of the brands we had part of it, like 50%, and now we just bought everything. So we are the owners of the whole company. So basically we have three brands in Argentina as well. So that's the CVC Corp right now. So that's why when she says, oh, I'm responsible for B2B, B2C, and online, we kind of separate in 3 groups. And that's even why I explained this structure that we have right now. It was necessary because of that. Because in the past, when it was only CVC, it was easy. I could go and talk to the sales team and marketing, but now it's impossible because I can't negotiate and decide all the strategy at the same time. So that's why we have now the department that Nathalia is in, and she's responsible for that. So she's, okay, we're doing that for CVC, we're doing that for the B2B, we're doing that for the online, and all the things that we need to handle.
That's great. And it's funny, Federico from Argentina, as soon as you were saying we're in Argentina too, he put in the chat, CVC's in Argentina too. So thank you for the reminder. So tell me, let's talk about, your company, like many others last year, kind of took a step back and said, okay, we're gonna align, we're gonna do this, we're gonna take this year and do what we need to do. Well, now we're kind of seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. So you're still talking to clients, what are you hearing from the clients? What kind of phone calls are happening in the CVC stores, or the independent stores that you work with, from consumer and or B2B? Are people ready to travel? Are they booking travel?
Oh, yes, we are.
This is on me now.
Yeah, Nachi, go ahead.
You.
Okay.
The rest her voice. Yeah.
Okay. I think we are facing each month is something different like here. So if you go back to March last year, everyone faced all the like desperation of what we are going to do with passengers abroad and everything. So we basically, during 2 months, just working with bringing people back and organizing all the situations with like passengers. Then like from July until September, the sales were really low. Anyone knew what would happen. So we are not like feeling comfortable in traveling. Of course, there are some people that they travel anyway. And also you are facing lots of problems in terms of like Brazilian situation. So many stores were closed. People weren't traveling. We were facing all the problems with hotels and all the like the tourism environment. We were facing a very tough situation. However, in September, October, sales start to come. And then we start to have sales and CVC, especially CVC, Viagens, the tour operator, it's based on domestic travels. So this is a really good point for us, because even with all the borders closed for us, apart from like Caribbean destination and Dubai, for example, our main business is in the domestic trips. So it helped us a lot in this time, because people just start to travel. And here in Brazil, we have lots of opportunities. We have like the countryside, we have the like national parks, we have all the beaches that we have, amazing ones. And people start to feel comfortable on that. So we just have like all the domestic departures start to come, and it helped us a lot, not only the company, but also the brands that we have spread out the country. So this was a really good point. However, after January, things here in Brazil start to like go back like last year. All the COVID numbers has increased. We needed to close stores as well again. So it was really tough for us. Fewer companies just like stopping some routes and departures. So like in February until this month, actually, the sales wasn't not that good, especially because all the situation. But then starting last week or the week before, the situation here started to get better again. So we could reopen our stores. People like started to travel more confident. All the vaccination situation here is like, it's improving. It's not that bad, but it's improving. So it helped a lot. It's helping us to recover with all this scenario that we are facing here in Brazil. So basically, what we are seeing, what we can see looking at our sales. So mainly people are going to like places that are open. So beaches, national parks, this kind of thing. And they are enjoying Brazil. When it comes to international, like the main one is Caribbean destination, but it's only 5% of our sales right now, because we are not traveling abroad. Not many people are feeling confident to go abroad and staying in there.
Yeah, and it's important to say, for those who don't know, that Brazilians right now are allowed to travel to only like, I don't know, 10 countries. So we don't have many options. And the few ones that are open, sometimes we don't have how to get there because we don't have flights. So you can say, okay, where can you go right now? It's like 4 or 5 countries. So that's also an issue, because I don't know, Belize is open, but I don't have a flight to get there. So I would have to go through US, and US is closed. So that's important also, because even those who want to travel, they can't.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So we don't have many options. So people are focusing on Brazilian destinations, which is good for us, because like we have many options here. And this is what is happening with our sales. And also the ones that we have for the like for our AGVP is coming like quite high. So people are buying for the end of the year, because they are like seeing some promotions for airlines. So basically, when it's not like the countries that are open for us, people are buying in advance. because the ticket is good, like the price is fine, so people are buying that, and they are going to see if they are gonna like travel or not.
Right, they're buying it in preparation for, right? Hey, it's gonna open. We know it's gonna open. I'm gonna get ready for it.
Exactly.
And you know, the domestic travel that you're seeing is something that when I talk to operators from countries all over the world, they're seeing the same thing. We're seeing the same thing in the US, right? You kind of focus back in on domestic travel, and that's what we can do right now as it grows out. But I'm assuming that having that domestic travel really was great for the company. You guys had 1,300 travel agencies across the country, and you've maintained most of them throughout this entire pandemic year because those sales were back.
When you go back to 2019, like the domestic travels were about 65% of our incoming. So it means that like our main business is domestic. So this is the good thing for us, like in all the situation that we are facing now. So we can like stay still here because of the domestic destinations.
Yeah, and
it's also good because it shows that people want to travel. Because if you couldn't see anything here, it would be okay. So when the borders are open, we won't see anything like to US or any other place. But no, people are traveling here. So we are pretty sure that once we are allowed to go like basically anywhere, we are going to see people going. So
yeah, so on that line, are people requesting, like, so when some of those sales are happening, are any of those, you know, outbound internationally? Are they to North America, within North America, other than the Caribbean, since you can already go there? Like, are you seeing individuals booking the US, booking Canada, you know, getting ready to do that?
What we are seeing, as Nathalia said, the international right now represents like 5% of our sales. And for sure, the top ones right now are the countries who are open. So it's Mexico, Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, Dubai, Maldives. So it's a few countries that are open. If you talk about, okay, US that is closed, we do have some sales. I still, only for CVC brand, I still sell 200 room nights a month. So it's something. But as Nathalia said, people are looking for like long term. So one thing that we're seeing here, people are buying, especially the airline tickets, because they see some promotion. So I don't know, American Airlines do a promotion, no travel window starting November until March next year or something like that. And the prices are really good. And people go and buy. They don't even know if they're going to be able, but they're hoping until November they will. So
Right.
that's what's happening. And one thing that we were talking before that we are starting to see, especially the last, I don't know, 20 days, 1 month, is people that are going to Mexico and then going to US, because Brazilians are not allowed to go directly, but if they stay 14 days in another country as Mexico, they can go. So we are seeing that. So Cancun used to be, the length of stay used to be 7 days. This month is 12 already, because people are like staying, so they can go to US. So that's basically what we are seeing. But again, it's not everyone who can do that, because I mean, you would have to have a month vacation, so, and a lot of money. Remember that the exchange rate is also high, to go to, you know, Mexico first and then go to US. So I mean, we see this movement, but we can say there is a lot right now.
Right.
Yeah, and there is a point that I spoke with her last day, I think yesterday or the day before. Brazilians are passionate by USA, and you have a passenger is going to stay 14 days in Dubai and then go to Orlando.
Think about it. Get out from Brazil, go to Dubai, then fly to US. It makes no sense, but people just want to go.
Exactly. So
they're quarantining in Dubai as well.
Sorry?
Yeah.
So you have people quarantining in Mexico and people going and quarantining in Dubai.
We have this kind of passenger here. So we are very passionate like about the United States. So what I think is, when the borders are open, it's gonna be crazy. I really think that people are I'm going to the United States, and they are going just buy and travel.
And a lot of, maybe, and this is something funny, because I'm going to see a lot of last minute too. Especially, I know that this is a very, you know, sensitive issue, but about the vaccination, we might see a lot of people who want to go just to get the vaccine, because we know the US right now you kind of can go because they don't ask for the proof of residence anymore. So we are going to see a lot of that, because people here in Brazil, I mean, for example, myself, probably staying on the line, I'll be vaccinated only, I don't know, October, November. That's the idea that we have here. If the borders are open next month, okay, I can go to US, have vacation, get my vaccine. So it's the perfect world.
Right. I mean, and those are all things that I think we'll see unfolding, over the next month or so as countries start talking about their opening plans and hopefully our borders start opening up. So we can have more international travel coming.
And something that I can bet on that. A lot of people that are not buying right now is just because they bought, first time, I don't know, in the end of 2019, had to reschedule. Then last year, they rescheduled for the end of the year, and then they had to cancel and reschedule again. And this is like such a nightmare of the bureaucracy of canceling and getting credit and doing everything again, that people right now, they just want to wait. So once we know that it's open, even though I'm not going right now, but I can play my vacation next year. I can play, go into Orlando with my family next July, but at least I can do the plans. And right now people are not even planning. They are not even dreaming because they don't know. I don't want to dream again and get frustrated because I'm not able to go again.
I have to move the trip, 3 more years ahead of time.
Probably we're going to see a lot of last minute and a lot of long-term trips. Once
so there'll be an extreme, like who can forecast anymore, right? I think we've all learned that over the last year. There's just none of that.
And especially in my case with the land products, because as I said, a lot of people are buying the airline tickets for November, December, but they're still not buying, the hotels or the attractions because they can leave that for later, just in case. I need to make sure it's open. And then, for example, tomorrow it's open, and then I can start planning and get my hotels, because then I know, okay, now that I'm going, I can, check my hotel, make sure I pay in advance so I can have everything, ready.
Yeah.
So this is also important, because hotels is not, a promotion on hotel I'm going to buy just in case. It doesn't happen, but airline tickets, oh yeah, okay, it's a promotion. Let me buy it. I don't even know if I can go, but I'm buying.
So, and there's a question that came in from Larry that's talking about 22 product and curious as to what is that product in place? Like, do you have your product in place for 22? So you've worked on that. And the question I would have, the follow-up question to that is, have you seen a change in those top destinations or that product? For example, in the traveling domestic, people really stayed towards the open spaces, your national parks, your beaches. Do you see that moving into 22 as well? Do you think people will maintain that when they travel abroad? So wanting to do the national parks here in the US.
Okay, so the first part of the question, yes, we do have the prices for 22. So basically that's what we've been doing. We are making sure that we have everything like loaded correctly at the systems for the brands. So yes, it was a priority to have 2022 rates uploaded. And unless some hotels you still don't have, but it's like a minority. And about the destinations, I think the top destination won't change. I'm pretty sure it's going to still be, so for those who don't know, it's Orlando, Miami, New York, Vegas, and then California would be the main top destinations. But probably the share for other destinations might increase a little bit. So for example, people who want to do a fly and drive and get to know other places, or as I said, national parks, I think it wouldn't be enough to change the top destinations, because I don't know, there's something about Brazilians that they just like the same place and people just go every year to the same city.
Or they plan that. That's been their inspiration, right? We're going to go here.
Yeah. But I don't know, maybe 2019, the other destination had a smaller share, and this could increase a little bit. I think so. And we are preparing some products for those as well. So this is also something important. We are working some segments that we didn't, we actually didn't work on that before. Nathalia, this is Natalia's department.
Yeah, what I think is that even before the pandemic situation, we were facing like a changing of the tourists. Like when you go the past years, people were just want to travel to know many places, but now people want to experience the place. So the past few years, we have been checking this movement in the industry. People were not interested in only going there to take pictures. They want to have an experience of living that places. And this is something that we are trying to change here in the company, because like the past few years, we were just focused on getting big and buying everyone and
Right.
spending a lot. But now what we are doing internally is to moving that to another step. And now let's introduce new kind of products in the same destination, but bringing another type of trip, like bringing experience. So something that we started to do here for the domestic, it was my first project here, was the luxury trips. We are not saying that we are selling to the like richest ones in Brazil, but we are offering the opportunity for you to go like to Bahia, one of the main state here for beaches, and stay in a very nice boutique hotel and have a great opportunity to have like an experience of wellness and like in a private places. So what we are bringing now here to the table is like, let's work with segments and other experiences of for our customers. So this is what I think is going to happen. People they want to inspire themselves. They want to I deserve that. I deserve a better trip. I deserve it to invest in my well-being. And I think that people really want to go and like see the world, get out in a plane and go somewhere. And they want to invest money in having a great experience. So now what we are doing for 2022 is to bring new segments to implement in our companies, B2B and B2C, and also online, and to bring this experience and to bring a new way of traveling according to their expectations, not just what we want, but what the client wants. So this is what they are changing here.
I think that's really cool. And you mentioned luxury. What are there any of the other, are there other types of experiences that you can share that you're looking at adding?
Like in ecotourism, we are checking also as well wellness products, which is one of the segments that it's really increasing the world. We are bringing weddings, especially, I don't know how it's in the United States, but here in Brazil, I'm facing that because I'm going to get married this year.
Congratulations.
The problem is here with all the pandemic situation, everyone that had weddings for last year, they need to reschedule their weddings. So they just have schedules for the end of 2021, this year and the next one. So we don't have spots here to do our weddings. So now we are checking hotels and destinations to do destination weddings, which is common. Is not something like new in the industry, but it's something that we didn't use it to offer to our clients.
And it wasn't a trend also in Brazil, right? People wanted just to get married in their city, and at a venue with a lot of people. And right now people are willing to, okay, so I'm traveling to somewhere and get married there and invite some closer friends. So this is definitely something that is increasing here in Brazil as well. I don't know in US if it's like popular or not.
Yeah. Another segment that we are working as well is about events for 2022. For example, we have the confirmation that Rock in Rio, the biggest event here, music event, is gonna happen in September. So we are bringing all this kind of events for the next year. So we are working with this kind of segments to implement in our business units. These are
great. So my next question, and Fernanda probably knows that it's already coming. If you have all of these new segments, are you looking for new product that goes along with that?
Of course. So yeah, that's basically how we work here. So for example, Nathalia says, okay, the next movement for the company is the marriage. So, okay, Fernanda, what do you have and what can you get to me? So we go after, and of course, you said that to all the managers, and we go after the suppliers and see how we can, support with that. Besides the regular one that, of course, we have on a daily basis. So that's basically this year we have a, how can I say, schedule of some segments that we know for sure that we're going to start. And of course, we're going to increase that for the next months. So yes, we are always looking for new suppliers, new partners. This is something that we are going to need your help.
And I didn't plan this at all, but right in time with that is how can we start a direct partnership with you? So if we have individuals, and we do, I know that are either on this call or going to watch the video of this later, they're going to want to know how they can either send you information or start a partnership with you and start working with you. What's the best way for them to do that?
Okay, so I suppose everyone here is from US, so I will be the manager responsible, but you can email me. I think I can share with you. Maybe you can put the chat here.
Yeah, well, I'll do a follow-up email tomorrow, kind of like with top things we learned, and we'll include your email.
Okay, and then you can contact me with the, can introduce your company or whatever if I don't know it yet, and I can maybe schedule a call in the future so we can see how we can move on, how we can adjust to our needs, and can explain how we work when we're talking about doing direct negotiations, because of course we do have all kind of suppliers. We work with main brokers as well for hotels, for attractions, but we do have a lot of direct contracts. It's actually, we prefer to have that because we can have a better opportunity, but of course it depends if the partner can offer what we need. So I think would be the best way, send me an email, introducing yourself, and I can schedule a call with you in the future so we can discuss further.
And she really means it, right? I mean, both of them really mean it. They're not just saying email and I won't get back.
Definitely not. As I said, this is how people keep asking me, okay, what are you doing? US is not open. What do you do all day? And I'm planning the future.
Right.
We're making sure we have everything and make sure we have all the agreements uploaded. We make sure we have all the products. So once it's open, we don't need to run after. We can have everything live already. So as I said, all the basic, I can say like that, we already have, but right now we're working on those segments and we're working on new things. So yes, I mean it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what's important is what you said there is, while you would love direct contracts, sometimes it always doesn't work with the client you're working with. So there are receptives, there are, brokers that you work with.
That is also as an option.
Yeah, so that would be an option for you to work with that receptive or that broker that's still indirectly working with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so lots of different options. So let's talk about marketing and training. And I mean, obviously you guys are adding new product, you're interacting with agents, you're interacting online, you're interacting with consumer direct. What kind of marketing are you doing right now? Knowing that we're planning for the future, but what kind of marketing are you doing that maybe anybody that's on the call could get involved with? I mean, are you doing some co-op marketing opportunities with people right now? Or is it really just getting the CVC information out there?
No, we have opportunities. Of course, you want to be very realistic with the situation. So like when it comes out, let's do a media plan all together and everything. Of course, we need to understand when is the best time for doing that. For example, if the border is not open, we don't have any idea when it's gonna open. Let's do something that there is no purpose on now, especially because a lot of things happening at the same time. So for example, we have all the situation of like all the rebookings that we have, like travel agents closing stores, open stores, because here we need to like lock down and everything. So we have this kind of situation that is very important, like to discuss before we start to do something. But of course, we have a lot of opportunities in terms of like marketing for the final customer, and also internally, because we have opportunities of trainings and to do panels and like live sections to explain products and everything. Of course, as you said, lots of destinations are trying to do the same thing at the same time. And sometimes you don't have this, the expect numbers that we wanted. But of course, we have opportunities in trainings and everything, because I think this is the time of doing that, because hopefully when things getting better, we won't have time for that.
Yeah. And one thing that we are doing also are some pools of training. So for example, this week, I don't remember anymore. We did a big training from Visit Orlando. So I got Visit Orlando, I got Disney, we got Universal, I got SeaWorld. So instead of doing one training for each, because as Nathalia said, we have a lot of demand, we do a group. So we can do the same for I don't know, any segment. For example, we could do a training or a destination, and we can include a lot of suppliers. So we can have this kind of pools and have trainings together.
And I think it was this week, because I talked with Elaine from Visit Orlando yesterday. We were just catching up, and she told me, she was like, "Oh, I just saw them. We just did the training." So I think it's great that you're doing that. And I think that's a great idea for a variety of attractions, or a hotel group within one particular area to do something jointly.
It's important to know the timing, as Nathalia said. We just need to make sure. I don't want to talk about the destination right now, and we don't even know anything about it, but we can have everything like scheduled. Right. So you asked about co-op plans. We do have some co-op plans scheduled with some suppliers that we don't know when it's going to be live, because it depends on the reopening. But we have everything negotiated, all the plan designed, and then okay, it's open today, so we can start the plan tomorrow. So This is also an opportunity.
I think that's great. And training, I'm assuming that there's someone else that schedules all of the trainings, and if anybody wanted to inquire about doing a training for staff at CVC or agents within the store, that you guys could direct them to the right person.
Sure, yeah. Let me know, send the email, and then I can forward. Maybe I can help with like the pool, and okay, we can add you in that training or something. I can see the whole schedule, because we need to check with both, B2B agenda and then B2C agenda. Sometimes they are similar, sometimes they are not. So we can make sure we find a place for all of them.
Love that. So has anything changed with your programs in regards to safety? Like did COVID change any of the way that you guys are going to operate your tours? Are you adding any requirements that, we've had some tour operators that are requiring temperature checks or they kind of changed some of the requirements just health wise, and safety. Did you guys update any of that? Did anything change for you?
Yes, of course. We need to do what they are demanding. So for example, I handle here as well for the excursions in Brazil. And here, every excursion that we have with group, we need to have all the sanitary rules implemented. So for example, mask, temperature, and all the procedures that they are saying that we need to do. But in terms of how is the program and how is the trip here in Brazil, we are just trying to not to get a lot of people at the same place at the same time. So we are just checking all the details in terms of bookings and everything, just to make sure that it's not going to have a lot of people at the same time together. But apart from that, all the sanitary issues are implemented according to the destination, because all the destinations here have some
it's something that comes from the government makes you do this kind of, so I don't know, the hotel should work with 50% of occupancy. So this is something that we already are obligated to do. So we kind of work, and we make sure that our suppliers, they follow the rules, of course, because we know that sometimes so the bus can't have more than 50%, and we know that sometimes they don't care. So we need to make sure that our suppliers, they follow the rules. So
yeah, for sure.
One thing nice, I don't know, it's not exactly that, but we are starting with our sustainable program. So this is something like really new, and I'm really excited because CVC, I mean, we are the biggest here, and we should be the example. And we never had like a full program, looking for that. And right now we're going to have one. So they are still preparing everything. You should launch in the next, I don't know, days. And we're going to look on that, so we will need to make sure we have like our suppliers aligned to what we want. So we want to be a sustainable company, and if we want to do that, but we work with, I don't know, a hotel who waste water and who whatever, it wouldn't be aligned. So that's something new that I'm really proud of, because we need to take care of our planet, because if we don't, then we won't have places to go, right?
Right. And so your sustainable program, is that going to be across all of your B2C, B2B, and online?
Yes.
Or the whole corporation.
Yeah,
it's gonna
it's
be,
a
and
huge
it's something that is gonna involve not only us but our partners as well.
Yeah.
That was going to be my question: is does that dictate who you work with, or what?
Yes,
Or what that's
really?
to
It's
provide?
not gonna be mandatory, but what you want to do is to make difference. And also we want to help our partners to make difference. It's not gonna be something that, oh, you need to do that, otherwise I won't work with you. It's not like that. But you want to work in educational process of how can you improve as society and doing better things for our planet. So it's going to be more collaborative project instead of just mandatory project that, okay, if you don't have like this kind of thing, you won't work with me. So it's going to be something very interesting. We are going to launch, if I'm not wrong, it's going to be the last week of this month. And it's going to be a live, a public session on the YouTube explaining everything of the projects for everyone that want to hear about it.
That's exciting. That's a big change for you. Not even, I mean, it's a good feel good, let's save the planet change, which I love.
Yeah, right.
I think the pandemic situation brought us a great opportunity for our company, and I believe for other companies as well, to look inside themselves and see what we can do better for ourselves, not only for the company, but for the society. And this pause in the process gave us time to like relook every detail of our business and how can we do better? How can we improve our process? How can we invest in the right projects? What we can do for making difference in the society in Brazil, in Argentina and everything. So what I see is like this time that we are facing, of course, is challenging, but on the other side, it's very important to have this time to look at into ourselves and do this analysis and how can we do better. So this is what we are doing here at CVC Corp. We are checking everything that we do and check the ways how can we do better.
I think that's great. One of my questions was going to be, are our roles going to change moving forward? And generally, I think, for the industry, travel providers, all of your entities are going to be more important than ever, because people are going to want to travel and they're going to want to have that safety and security of knowing that they're traveling with someone that knows what they're doing. But that's a great twist on that question is, yeah, our roles have changed. We're now becoming stewards of our planet, based on what we've been through this last year.
And our industry has so many opportunities on doing that, because we work with so many communities. When it comes like, oh, let's do an excursion to a place that they have a small shop that people there works for that. We can help in so many ways, in educational and the things with nature, and so many things that we can do in our industry that is very important, because we already do that. For example, when we sell like a trip for a passenger that is going to a place that usually we don't sell many passengers, we are helping this community to improve. So we already do that, but you can do better. So
right.
That's what you want to do.
I think you just gave yourself more work, because I just heard of a new segment, sustainable travel, that's going to be on your plate soon.
Actually, it's one of the pillars of this project, because it's something that, for example, for CVC, especially here in Brazil, that you have all the nature involved, like very in all the main destinations, and we work with volume because we are the huge one. So now we are looking to ourselves that, okay, we send so many passengers for this place. What you can do better for this place? How can you help them to like keep with the nature and the sustainability and the educational thing? So this is something that we are asking for ourselves, because we already do many things, but you can do much better. And the sustainable trips is something that is coming as well.
So Tomas from New Orleans has a question for you guys, and it kind of goes back to, we touched on it just a bit, was if any of your FIT or group packages were looking towards less populated destinations, kind of outside the gateway. And if so, you know, knowing that Orlando, Miami, New York probably are still going to be your top destinations, if they're looking towards those less populated areas or rural areas, what are the top ones that they've asked for?
Well, that's a good question.
Tomas always has great questions. Yeah.
I definitely can say what I think it's a trend by what I heard, but of course this could change. But for example, as Nathalia was saying that, oh, people, I will start giving an example here in Brazil. So we have a lot of small, even small villages that are getting like more popular right now. So people want to go to small destination, not only the capital. So for those who knows Brazil, for example, people would go to Rio de Janeiro, to Porto Seguro in Bahia, there's the main destination. And right now they're looking for Trancoso, that is 2 hours from Porto Seguro, or they're going to Búzios, who is 1 hour from Rio de Janeiro. So they're looking for, you know, other smaller destination, maybe not so crowded, with maybe less things to do because it's a smaller city, but with a different experience. As Nathalia said, no more involved with nature or with the culture. Regarding US, what I've been seeing, some, you know, new movements in that way. I saw a lot of things on the natural parks. So all of them, like Yosemite, all of the area on the West Coast, this is something that we didn't use it to have that much. And right now I'm seeing a lot of requests, especially for the fly and drives. We are seeing, like, for example, Florida. So Orlando is the number one destination. We are seeing a lot of requests for Clearwater, the Florida Keys. Miami is a popular destination. We are seeing a lot of Fort Lauderdale. So we can see, you know, this movement. Maybe people still want to be near that main attraction because probably they're going to pass through there as well. So right now, I don't think a lot of Brazilians are going only to, I don't know, Florida Keys. No, they're still going to Orlando. They're still going to Miami, but they can have a second destination, a third destination in that same trip. So I would say a lot of those cities, and what we use it to call the secondary destinations here. So for example, you even mentioned New Orleans, a secondary destination for us, we call Chicago, Washington, Philadelphia, because they are big cities for you, of course, but for us, it wasn't like a big destination. So people are also looking for that. And as I said, depending on the purpose of the trip. So people are more into art, so they're looking for a big city. So I'm not more into nature, so I'm going for, you know, national parks. So it depends a lot. I saw a lot of things for Hawaii lately, and it's something that we never, I know it's amazing, but it's not a destination that Brazilians went so much. So I can see a lot of movements on that side.
Great. Well, Sabine from the Keys is on this call. So she's already chatted in and asked for your email addresses. So Sabine, I will make sure that you get them. And they will be on our follow-up email tomorrow. But I think that's, you know, that brings up a good point that anyone on the call, knowing that what those top destinations are, knowing that people are looking beyond the gateway, it would be great information for you to have. You know, we're this far away from this gateway, and you can build something around that when you're looking at those new segments that you guys are planning, because any of these wellness, ecotourism, weddings, events, they're all going to happen, you know, in and around those gateways.
Oh yeah, it's important. I saw in the beginning, Andrea from Clearwater was in the call, and she knows that we did a plan last year. Not last year, 2019. And it was exactly that. I mean, she knew that I couldn't just make a plan like focusing on passengers leaving Brazil and going to Clearwater. It wouldn't happen, but we were focusing on people in Orlando who would get to know a second destination. And we were able to increase the numbers because of that. We were promoting, going there. So in the beginning, it was just a day trip. And then people, okay, now I can spend 1 night, maybe I can spend 2 nights. So it's a process, we need to change the behavior, because it's also something that, for example, I will be the first one, and then I go to Orlando, and now I went to Clearwater. And then I tell a friend, and he wants to go, and then he goes and stay 1 night, and then he tells another one, and then it's getting like more popular. So this in Brazil, it's happening a lot. I saw so many destinations that became popular last year in Brazil that I was like, people are going to Jalapão right now. Until 2 years ago, nobody not even knew where this was. And Nathalia know what I'm talking about. So this is like really,
we covered so many places here in Brazil that we didn't have an idea about it.
Yeah. So it's interesting. People wants to go. So
right.
this is nice. And it's a trend. So that's why the first one goes and then tells the second, and then suddenly everyone wants to go to the same place. So,
which is great. So I told you guys this would go fast, and we're down to like our last 8 minutes, right? We're almost done. I promised you I wouldn't take more of your time than that, but it does go by really, really quickly. So what are, I think we'll wrap up with, with what are some words of wisdom? What are your predictions? We're not going to hold you to any of these, but what are your predictions on Brazilian travel to North America? Within, what should we be looking for? How can we help you?
Okay, so I really hope that the borders will open as soon as most people think. So I am an optimist. Sometimes my boss says, you are too optimistic, but I'm not. I'm really hoping
does too. Mine tells me the same thing. Yeah.
I'm really hoping this to be like in the next 1 or 2 months. And if so what you can help us, again, what we need from you guys is to make sure we can have everything ready in advance. So that's something really important. As Nathalia was saying, maybe, okay, tomorrow, if they open, will be harder to get things done after tomorrow, because it will be like that crazy thing. Everybody wants everything at the same time. So that's why we're doing everything to make sure we have everything done before, so we can make sure that once they want to buy it, it's already on the shelf. We have everything done, all the segments, all the products, so the training materials. This is really important. So sometimes I know that it's a tough situation for everyone, and sometimes I hear, but we are not working here, we are laid off here, so we don't have how to move on with an agreement or move on with something. And I know that, but maybe we might lose an important timing, because as we said, once it's open, we are pretty sure that we're going to see a huge number of people buying it. Maybe not traveling right now, but at least buying it. So as soon as we have everything done, uploaded, graded, will be easier.
Right. So we're talking agreements and rates and cutoff dates, and so what are there anything specific wise, that you need when it comes to terms and conditions? Like, are you guys looking for anything different right now moving forward, or any specifics that stuck out to you over this last year that you needed to tweak a little bit? Cutoff dates, deposits?
No, actually, we didn't change a lot of those kind of requests. For example, I need a payment or in advance or something. Actually, no, we didn't change. What we need right now is like availability and with long term. So sometimes the hotels, I only have for 2021, and right now we need 2022 at least for attractions and hotels and everything.
Right.
So I would say more like based on availability, and of course the regular conditions about like pricing and everything, the rates, of course. We are only going to work directly with someone who can guarantee we have the the good rate. Or we can work for third party as well, but we need to make sure we have that good condition. But it's not something that we are asking, because I know that some properties, so right now I need the payments to be, I don't know, with 2 months. No, we're doing the same. We can help. We can even change sometimes from our side to help the suppliers, because we know sometimes
it's give and take on both sides. Both people need help.
Yeah, but again, I think this we can discuss directly. Whoever is interested can get in touch with me. We can discuss each case particularly.
Perfect. And Nathalia, see, I'm going to call you your full name now, just because I know it doesn't sound right to you. I want to get your attention. So what what ideas do you have? Like, what are some words of wisdom for everyone on the call and working with Brazil for this year and moving into 22? And what can anyone on the call do to help you in what you do with your strategy for all of the different divisions?
Yeah, I think like the main issue here now is like we need to look to our clients and to understand what they want and what they wanted to have experiences, as we spoke during this hour.
Mhm.
And as much as information that we send to us about new experience and new possibilities, even in the huge cities that we are already selling, it's important because we can tell another story to our client that always goes to Orlando or New York and everything. Like to have this opportunity to show to our clients all the facades of the same places. So this is something that we are saying, we are checking our customers. They are changing for all these experiences that they can have in the same trip. So for us, as many information that you can send to us regarding all your destinations and product, it will help a lot for us to make a strategy. So for example, we are now every week, Fernanda and I, we are always talking and checking what you are going to do for every single city of that you want to promote, all the new experiences, all the new possibilities of traveling. And now we are preparing all the strategies. So by the time you are open, we have everything done. So as many information as you can send, it would be great.
Love that. Experiences like walking tours, biking tours, cooking classes, breweries, whatever comes to mind, anything that's local. That
You are
you, but I know you want to say something.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Actually, all the main information, because for example, you were saying, oh, cooking class, this is amazing, but we need to make sure what are the language. Sometimes we know that maybe it's only offered in English. It doesn't mean that we can't work, because of course a lot of people does speak English, but we need to make sure we have this information, because then some clients may not be able to join. But we are looking for a lot of different experience as well. As Nathalia said, we are just making sure to add in the segment that it matches better. But yes, we're looking for a lot of things like that, different experience, different things.
And I know we have like 1 minute, so I'm going to ask this question really quick. Do any experiences resonate better with your customers? I mean, is it like local cuisine? Is it anything that just stands out as something that they like better?
I think it depends on the destination, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be completely different the experience that you have in New York City comparing to Miami, for example. They have different proposals for tourism. So you're talking New York City, a huge city with so many Broadway sales and everything, and Miami beaches and everything. It's different, but the more local experience is better.
Okay. That helps. That helps everybody on this call. And it's like we have 1 minute, so I'm going to wrap up. Thank you guys so much. You provided so much information in such a short period of time, and it's so helpful to everyone on this call as they're preparing and hoping for borders to open and hoping for an influx, just like the both of you are. So spending your time with us means a lot. So I appreciate you guys coming on and sharing everything with us. I also failed to thank Betsy Cooper at the beginning of this with Tour Operator Land. She put her information in the chat box. So if you're not working with Tour Operator Land, make sure you reach out. It's a huge tool for travel providers to get royalty-free photos and itinerary suggestions, and it helps them build out their packages as well. So definitely reach out to Betsy, and we will be back next week with another great session as we start to reopen and as we start working and learning how we can work together to just get ready for hopefully this huge influx of people that might be coming in as soon as our borders open. Fernanda and Nathalia, thank you so much. Really appreciate the both of you, and I hope everyone has a great weekend.
Oh, thank you very much, and everybody for listening. If you have any questions, we will share with you my email. So make sure you get in touch.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you, ladies. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.